What's up, guys? It has been with 2020 election predictions, and what you are looking at is where I think the race stands today. I think that Donald Trump right now will probably win 248 electoral college votes, and that Joe Biden, the Democratic nominee, will win 290 electoral votes. So I've heard a lot of people say that they think that this 2020 presidential election is going to be decided by the Supreme Court, which currently has 8 seats, but I do think that Amy Coney Barrett is going to be confirmed before the election, and therefore it is going to be a 9 seat, 6-3 conservative majority with probably John Roberts and maybe Justice Kavanaugh or maybe ACB being the swing vote there. However, while this race looks closer, kind of on first inspection. I mean, Donald Trump got over 300 electoral votes, and right now, I'm predicting that Joe Biden won't surpass that 300 number. However, a lot of things could change. Like right now, according to like the 538 predictions, they don't think that Florida and North Carolina are going to go to Donald Trump, and I really think that these states could go either way. I think that Donald Trump kind of is at a low point right now, and I think he's only going to um, increase from there. Looking at Georgia, I feel a little bit more confident that Georgia will stay red this go arounds, but I mean North Carolina and Florida could definitely go either way, and that is a 44 electoral vote swing. So if Joe Biden were to win North Carolina and Florida, then he would exceed the margin that Donald Trump beat Hillary Clinton by. But one reason why I don't think this is going to be as close as the 2016 election in terms of the margins in the state is because I think that Joe Biden is going to win the Rust Belt by a bigger margin than Donald Trump did. So Donald Trump famously in 2016 only won these 3 states by less than one percentage point. I think he won by about like point 0.7, point 0.7, and point 0.5. So it wasn't between or under the half a percentage point automatic recount. But if you do remember, Jill Stein was calling said that there's some irregularities in the voting, and they did actually do some recounts, and it actually turned out that Donald Trump actually won more votes after this, so there wasn't any voter fraud or anything there. However, I do think that Joe Biden's going to win these states by more than 2 points. So if the Trump campaign or the Biden campaign tries to say that there's voter fraud or if some mail-in ballots like aren't counted because they don't have the exact match signature, I really don't think it's going to matter that much because let's say that there's 100,000 ballots in question. I think that Joe Biden is going to win each of these states probably by a margin similar to what 100,000. Um, so Donald Trump in 2016 won these states by a combined, I think, 80,000, but I mean that was within one percentage point. I think right now Joe Biden's probably going to win Michigan by 4 to 5 percentage points, which if we look at that in terms of votes, is going to be over 100,000 definitely. In Pennsylvania, I think it'll be close to a 100,000 vote margin by Joe Biden. And I just don't think there will be enough contested ballots for this to go to the Supreme Court like some people are thinking. I do think that we are not going to know the Electoral College winner on November 3rd or even November 4th. I mean, some people have been saying that all the votes can't be counted at the earliest until November 10th. So because ballots can still come if they're postmarked by November 10th. So I think it's very, very well that we could kind of see the red mirage where Donald Trump is up, but I don't think that Donald Trump's going to have a huge grounds where he can take this race to the Supreme Court. So in 2000, Bush v. Gore, it was a very specific state in the state of Florida. They were talking about a recount just in the state of Florida. So effectively, in a 5-4 decision by the Supreme Court, they said that they weren't going to do a recount, which kind of handed Bush the victory there. I don't think that in 2020 it's going to be as black and white as that. Just saying, like, if the Supreme Court decides one way, then either candidate wins. I think this race is going to be litigated very, very closely with lawyers on both sides, um, uh, alleging different things. I do think there is going to be more voter fraud in this election more than in the past, just because I think there's just a lot more components. I think voter turnout is going to be at a record high, and I mean that's just because of just raw numbers and looking at the data. That's probably going to contribute to some more voter fraud. However, I don't think that the voter fraud levels are going to reach the margins that I think Biden is going to win by in the Rust Belt. I definitely could be wrong, so I don't want to say that this is a done deal, but I think that Joe Biden is going to win in the Rust Belt, and I've by higher margins. I think double, triple, quadruple the margins that Trump won by. And I mean, even though Trump won by less than a point, I mean, there weren't any kind of serious people who thought that there was like voter fraud there. I think with kind of mail-in voting, and I've seen it in California, some of these like drop boxes. There could be the potential for some voter fraud there. However, I think that will probably only matter maybe in states like Georgia, North Carolina, or Florida. And I really don't think that these states are going to decide the election. I think North Carolina and Florida might be the closest states. And I think there's going to be a lot of things on election day, like, oh, my vote by mail didn't go through. I've been waiting in the lines for 10 hours. So on both sides, this is going to be a concern. However, I think that Joe Biden is going to win by a substantial margin in the Rust Belt, that it's really not going to matter. And just kind of looking at the predicted page and kind of comparing it to mine. So the only difference that they have right now is North Carolina and Florida going to Joe Biden, which I think is very, very possible at this point. But we can also see on the predicted, they have the Rust Belt all kind of in this darker shade blue. And if this holds up, then I really just don't think that it's going to be close enough for Trump to even contest this in the court. So that is my opinion right now. Let me know what you think. I definitely do think if it were to go to the court, just because there's a 6-3 majority, that Trump would probably have an advantage. But also, I think a lot of people are kind of concerned about um, the judges being impartial. So I could definitely see John Roberts deciding against Trump, and even Amy Coney Barrett, because I mean, a lot of people on the left are kind of critical that she would be confirmed right before the election. So I could really see her kind of trying to prove that she's going to be an impartial judge, and that kind of be her first um, case right there. But thank you all for watching, and I really hope y'all like this video, and I'll do a new video tomorrow. Thanks, guys.